If you would like more videos like this, consider joining my online library. It's only $15.99 per month, and you can cancel at any time. Here you'll get weekly uploads of new videos around pain management yoga, restorative yoga, Ashtanga yoga, chakra yoga, all sorts. So head to www.yogatraveleronline/membership to join. Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining. Today we're going to ease back pain by stretching areas of our back and strengthening them so that we build up some muscle so that we don't overuse our abdominals or overuse our back because we're weak. But then of course we'll stretch and lengthen and try to find a little bit of relief. So close your eyes, roll your shoulders back, feel open through the chest, and just tuck your chin a tiny bit. And feel that breath coming and going in and out just through your nose. Every time we do yoga, especially when we're dealing with areas of discomfort, we want to focus on our breath as the first thing. It's going to tell us if we're moving too far or too fast, or if we need to slow down and change something. Our breath is going to be our guide. We should always be able to keep a slow and steady rhythm so that we're caring for our body as we move. Good. Now let's open our eyes and take a breath together. Bring your arms by your sides here. Inhale, lift up. This is just to feel unified with one another. And exhale, release. Feel that energy all around you. Nice work. Now let's get onto our back. We're going to start right away on the ground. I feel like the ground is a great way to support our body and our back because it takes some pressure off. So we're going to lay with our knees bent. Now the first thing we should do is adjust our hips. So lift your hips just a little bit, tilt the pelvis to the sky, and then lower the hips back down. This should get that long length through the spine. Our back is not flat. We have a curve, we have a lift, but adjusting the pelvis can help us to push that curve of the spine to the floor. I just want you to lay here for a moment and feel your back. We've got these three different areas in our back: the low back, the mid back, the upper back. They have more technical terms. We're just going to be really generic how we call them today. And we can breathe and feel that movement deep down into our diaphragm, into our belly here. Now, generally, this is a fairly relaxing position for our back, but we need to build up some warmth. So just take your hands by your sides. They don't have to be any particular way. And we're just going to start bringing our knees into our chest one at a time, nice and slow. Just lift them up and lower it back down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more, then we're going to add an element. Exhale. Now, if you want to, if your back isn't too painful, you can straighten out your knees. I gotta scoot back. You can straighten out your knees and do the same thing. Inhale, exhale. You might find that this is too much pressure on your lower back and you want to go back to those knees being bent. So back to this position, and that's fine. This lengthening one just does a little bit more for the hip flexor, but we do what we can and it's okay. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more time. Inhale, exhale, left side. Inhale, Exhale. Nice. Now bring your right knee into your chest and just give it a hug. Again, you can be here. It doesn't matter. Or here. Either way. But we're going to roll it open and back to the middle. Rolling it open to the right side and back to the middle. Now you might think, this is all doing the hips. And it is a lot of hip movement. But our hips are right there by our low back and into that sacrum. And so we can loosen up our hips first, warm our hips first, and then start to work up the rest of the spine. That's the idea here. Let's do one more. And place it down. Other side, left knee into the chest. Again, you can have that right leg straight or you can have it bent. You decide. And let's just open it. And we're just moving within that hip socket, getting that inner rotation of the hip. Good. And just building a little bit of warmth because we don't want to strain anything. That would be unfortunate. Good. Let's do one more. I'm not really even counting. We're just moving. Very nice. Okay, place the feet back down again and let's bend both knees once more. And take the right ankle to the left knee. Now just gently press with your hand and open up that right hip flexor so you can feel this length all through that front there. And then we're going to move into a stretch. I'll offer some options. For those of us who are fairly flexible in our back, it won't be too hard to reach through and grab onto the leg and then lay back down. Some of us are very tight, so we need to use some things. Start by maybe taking a strap. So you've got your foot here. You can take your strap around your shin or around that left foot and pull. And then you're going to get the same benefits, but you don't have to feel like you have to lift your head to reach your leg because we want our upper back to be relaxed. We're just working on our low back as we pull the legs toward the chest. It presses that curve of the spine to the floor. And we're working on that outer right hip, that sciatic area, the IT band, the piriformis, all of that there. So a strap works really nicely. Feel free to grab if the strap is not doing what it needs to do, whatever. You know your body. Listen accordingly. Now I can't reach it. Okay, let's just take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Nicely done. Now release the strap and put that left foot on the ground. Let's take our arms out to a T and we're going to drop the right foot to the floor so it's leading down and touching the ground there. And then send your gaze over that right hand. So now we're getting that outer right hip here and we're starting to move toward our mid back because we've stretched our arms out. And we're turning our gaze over that right hand. A little bit of a twist right through that low back area we can feel. We're keeping it pretty gentle because we haven't done a whole lot of warming yet. Let's take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Come back to the center. Set down that right leg, and let's do all the same things on the left. So left ankle to the right knee. Use your left hand to press against that knee, and just first stretch out this psoas, the front of the leg there. Little lengthening for our torso, which is nice. Good, and then let's get into it. Either reach through, grab on, and lay back down, or you're maneuvering your strap here. Why is it so hard to get? Okay, grab onto the foot or your shin and pull yourself forward. Pull the legs into the chest. Good. Either way, it should feel nice to press that curve of the spine flat on the ground. And we should be feeling this through the outer left hip. Those are the two primary areas of magic that's going on here. Beautiful stretch. And this is a stretch that we can do when we're not terribly warm. I like this stretch to kind of wake up our body in the day, like the beginning of the day, or it's wonderful at the end of the day too. Kind of stretch things out after working hard all day long. So you're getting ready for bed. Let's take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, release the hold. So let's put the right foot down, and then this left leg is going to lead to the floor. Press the foot on the ground and stretch your arms out at shoulder length, shoulder height, and then turn your gaze over that left arm as well. So we've got a little lower outer hip here, a little bit of the lower back. We're starting to get into the mid back a little bit, stretching over that way. And our breath just calm and steady. Nice. Let's take one more here. Inhale, one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Nicely done. Come back to the center, put both legs down. And let's just reach our arms overhead and our legs down below. Stretch through our side body, really. But this little length through the hip flexor, since our knees were bent. Very nice. Now we're going to be like a little piece of bacon and flip ourselves over. So let's roll over onto our stomachs. And then prop our elbows on the ground, pull our shoulder blades toward each other, and just send the gaze up neutral. This is Sphinx pose. As a really supported back bend because we've got our elbows on the ground and we're trying not to sink into it. We're trying to push the ground away and have a sense of lift. That's what's going to build up our bone density, help with that issue. Good, and we can feel that low back starting to engage. Let's take it a little bit deeper. Go ahead and release the elbows and pull your hands back so that they're just right by your rib cage. And let's push up into a little cobra. Good, feel that reach. And then come back down. Let's do this with some rhythm and some breath. Inhale, press up. Think about warming that back, using those muscles. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, lower down. Two more, nice and slow with our breath. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Here's our last one. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Nice job. Now press onto your knees. Let them open a little bit wider than your hips and sit back into child's pose. So this is extended child's pose. We've just created some space in our sacrum here, in that low back, because we've widened our legs. So we can just drop our head down. It's okay if your head doesn't reach the floor. You could try something like having a block underneath your forehead. Take a little pressure off of that cervical spine. Good. I'm just sitting into our back here. Let's take one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Nicely done. Lift up. Move that block out of the way. And come to all fours. Ready to do some cat and cow. We're going to move through the entire spine with this motion. So drop your belly down, shoulders roll back toward each other. Send the gaze up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, round through the spine. Tuck your chin. Find that space right in between your shoulder blades. Gets that whole back. Inhale, drop your belly, send the gaze up. We're going real slow here, trying to feel each vertebrae. Exhale, round through your spine. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Once more, then we're going to change it. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Good. Now come back to neutral and extend your right leg out. So you're going to put that foot on the floor out to the side. And I've still got my left knee on the ground. Good. Perfect. Now we're just going to lean back a little bit. This is going to feel a lot through the hips and the inner thigh. Then come forward. Good. Now just lean back once more. Lean into it and come forward. Now let's see if we can do a little bit of that cat and cow motion. Drop your belly. Inhale, send the gaze up. Exhale, round and lean back. Feel that through the spine. One more time. Drop the belly. Inhale. Feel that pelvis moving. Exhale, round and lean back just a little bit. Kind of a different position, just sort of manipulating our spine. Let's release that right leg and take your left foot out. So now I'm on my right knee. Left leg is propped out behind me. Good. And first time, let's just lean back. Start to feel that inner thigh and come forward. Just playing with the muscles a little bit, maneuvering them. Lean back again and come forward. Now let's try to get that cat and cow spinal action. Belly drops, send the gaze up. And exhale, round as you lean back. Once more, belly drops. Inhale. Exhale, round. Nice job. Put both knees on the ground and let's come to a downward facing dog. So lift onto your toes. Reach those hips to the sky, drop the heels downward. They do not have to touch. Now, if you find this taxing for the shoulders or the hips at all, you can try coming to your knees and just extending your arms forward. It's a different motion for sure, but it's still valuable in that stretch of the back. So take whatever works for you. Good. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Gently walk our hands back to our feet. Let's bend our knees. A little bit of softness, because once we get back, we can really feel that length through the spine in the low back with our knees bent. Start to roll up through your spine. Good. Pull the shoulders back and let's do a little for our upper back. We haven't done much for that yet. Press into our fingers, look up and pull those shoulder blades toward each other. So a couple ways you might feel this. You might feel this through the front of your chest. You might feel it through the upper back. Both things are getting some motion. That heart center open, that chest and that shoulder blades guiding together. Good, beautiful. Now release. Come back to the top of your mat, whatever that is in your orientation, top of your space here. Let's do a vinyasa together. We're going to take it slow at first with softening the knees to ease our back. Let's try it. Inhale, reach our arms up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive down. See how my knees are bending and we just kind of melt into our body. Feels really nice to release that back there. Take your hands to your shins. See if you can straighten your knees at this point so that you can start to get into the stretching of those hamstrings. And then exhale, soften down again. My knees are once more bending, just really melting that spine. Inhale, reverse swan dive, reach up to the sky. Exhale, arms by our sides. Let's do it one more time just like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, melt the knees, melt into the spine. There we go. Hands to the shins, halfway lift. Now we're straightening the knees so we can feel the stretch. Exhale, fold back down, softening if you want to. Inhale, reverse swan dive, reach up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Nice job. Now let's build on a traditional Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive forward. Decide if you want to bend your knees or keep them straight. I will leave that choice to you. I just showed straight knees there. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down. Let's step back to plank. Drop to your knees here or keep them lifted and chaturanga. See if you can hover, building that arm strength there. Inhale, upward facing dog, or if your stomach's on the ground, then you're more like a cobra. That's great. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good job. Nicely done. Hopefully we're feeling warm in our spine. A lot more mobility than when we started. Let's build up some strength. So take your right foot forward and drop that left heel down to the mat. We'll reach up to do Warrior One, Virabhadrasana A. Now, before we get into this a whole lot, let's look at where our torso has landed, right on top of our hips. So really, our hips are pointing straight forward, and our feet are about hip width distance apart in that rotation. So not a lot of sensation going on through here, but we can start to really engage our core. And as we reach our arms up, then we can start to feel the rest of the back muscles engage. Good. So we can take this as just, I'm just standing here, or we can really start to notice the muscles that are turning on in that pose. Good. Nice job. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale, open to Warrior Two. Here we adjust our feet, heels line up, heel lines up with the arch there. Yes. And we move into this right hip. Now start to see if we can sense our obliques or work on our strength there. Let's guide this right hand just onto the thigh and pull that left arm overhead. And we get a nice stretch through this side and an engagement in that right side. But then as we move to reverse warrior, drop that left hand down, reach that right arm back. We get the stretch in the right side and the squeeze in the left side. Let's add a little element. Come forward again, and instead of resting on the thigh, pull your arm across your body. And now we can really feel those oblique muscles having to engage. Nice. Try it the other way. Instead of resting our hand on our leg, pull that left arm across the body. Feel how that makes just a little bit extra in that oblique. This is where we're trying to build up our strength, yes? Good. Now lift up and straighten both legs. Turn your toes toward each other so that we're straight on with our hips, lined up with our feet here. And let's take our hands to the hips. Prasarita Padottanasana. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward and take our hands down. Now, if it's uncomfortable to reach for the ground without a block, grab it. You can use the block to bring the ground closer to you. But we want to feel ourselves shifting toward our toes just a little bit so that we're getting this stretching in the hamstrings once again. And what's happening to our back? As we pull up through the center of our body, we're lengthening our spine, lengthening our back even more. Good. So not only are we stretching our hamstrings here, but we're stretching through this whole low back. And our upper back is just relaxed. Neck and shoulders just relaxed down there. Let's take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Press into the floor or your block. Look up halfway lift. Exhale, bring your hands to your waist. Inhale, lift up so we're standing. Nice. Now let's step toward the other side of our mat. Some of you, if you're facing straight forward, you're just going to walk toward the camera. Those of us who have our mats the way I have it, now you're on this side of the mat so we can move into our left leg. Let's begin with a vinyasa first though. Inhale, reach our arms up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive down. Knees bent or straight, you decide how your back's feeling at this moment. Inhale, look up halfway lift. Exhale, hands down. Step back to plank. You can drop to your knees here or stay lifted. Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, or it might be Cobra if your belly is on the floor. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Nicely done. Good. Now let's step our left foot forward and draw that right heel down to the floor. Raise up to our warrior one. Now remember, we paid a little attention to this last time. Yes, our hips are basically just square, not a lot of motion going on there. Lots of lift at our center, lots of core engagement, which is going to help us to engage our back, especially as we reach our arms up to the sky. Feel those muscles. This is where we build strength, our standing yoga poses. And the basics, warrior poses, have so much strength involved if we really utilize our muscles. Let's take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, open it up to warrior two, lining your heel and your arch on top, right in line with each other. Good. Now this left hip is going to start to work, plus our obliques. Let's give it a try. First time, dropping our elbow to our thigh and pull that right arm overhead so you can feel the stretch through the right side body and the squeeze through the left side body. Good. Now reverse it. Drop down that right arm, reach that left arm, and we can feel the stretch and the squeeze. Good. Now a little extra. Come forward. Instead of resting our elbow, we'll pull across our body. If it's too challenging, you certainly can drop your elbow to your thigh because it's right there. Little extra squeeze. Good. And last time, bring it across. Let's reach our arm across our body and feel that length through the left side body. Really nice. Good. Lift back up and straighten both legs. Nice job. Turn your toes toward each other. Let's get into our upper back with this forward fold. So I'm going to grab my strap and demonstrate. We can take our hands behind us, and our strap allows us to move our hands wider. This will give us a little more mobility if your upper back and shoulders are very tight. So you can decide how close your hands are. Also, you can be clasping your hands behind you. So either way, press into the strap, press into the hands, inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. And see, as I pull my hands away, I can widen along the strap to get more mobility if I desire. So you do you. We're working on the low back and the upper back here, plus their hamstrings and the hips. Lots of amazing work going on. Good. Let's take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Gently lift all the way up. Nicely done. We can set that strap down off to the side. Let's step back to the top of the mat where we started. Nice work. We'll do one last vinyasa to bring us to the ground so that we can stretch on the floor. So here we go. Reach our arms up. Inhale. This is our last one. This builds strength too. Exhale, we fold forward and we lengthen our spine right there. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. We engage our core, strengthen our abdominals. Exhale, hands down, back to our plank. We keep our core nice and strong as we chaturanga, lowering to the ground or to a hover. Inhale, here's a back bend, getting our back nice and warm as we stretch the front of our body. And then exhale, lengthening our spine once more in down dog or puppy dog if your knees are on the ground. That sequence, there's a reason. It's tried and true. Does all of that amazing work. Nice job. Now bend your knees, look forward, step through, hop through, walk through. Let's come down to sit. However you get there is perfect. It's great. Good. So extend your legs forward. Nice work. For now, let's stay off of the bolster because we're going to twist. Although you might need to sit on it. You decide. Let's see how it feels. So bend your right knee first. And if it's a lot of tension along this left hamstring, then you might feel like you want to benefit from sitting on a bolster or a blanket. So you decide. Extend your left arm. Inhale. Exhale, hook it on, or you can hug. Either way is just fine. And then the right hand comes to the floor. Pull that shoulder back and send your gaze back. Now let's see as we hold and as we breathe if you can feel the 3 different areas of your spine. So we get our low back here because the twist is happening right at the base of the spine. But then we get our mid back as we push into our leg. And then we get our upper back as we pull the right shoulder back. So hopefully you can feel all 3 areas. Very nice. Now come forward, release your elbow or your grip there, and let's widen just a little bit. So I'm creating some space here between my foot and my leg. 2 options. You can use a strap to place around that left leg and then curve your spine, round your spine. If you're bendy enough that you can reach for your foot with your hands, that's great too. But either way, we're going to tuck our chin and round our spine. This one feels really nice on the mid back because we're rounding. We're not trying to sit nice and straight or flat or anything. We're creating lots of space between each vertebrae with that rounded shape. Nice. Let's breathe one more. Inhale. Exhale. Nice work. Lift up and release that right leg. Beautiful. Let's take the left side, starting with our twist. So we'll bring the left foot right along the side of the right leg. Inhale, reach our right arm up to the sky. Exhale, hook it on or hug it. Left hand to the floor, pull that shoulder back. See if you can feel all three areas. Starting at the base of the spine, that's the low back. Right through the middle, because we have our elbow pressed against our leg, and then the upper back as we draw our left shoulder back. Spines can get the whole, twists can get the whole spine. That's what I was trying to say. Nice, good for digestion too. We're putting a good squeeze right into our middle. Lovely. Nice. Now come forward. Let's create a little space. Find that gap. Yes. And then feel free to grab your strap and put it around your right foot if it's hard to reach your toes. And then let everything round. If you're able to reach your toes, you don't need the strap. But either way, we're curving. Just bending into the back. This is a variation of Marichyasana A. We're focusing on that stretch of the mid back here. Good. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Nicely done. Lift up. Let's release that strap and come onto our back once more, returning the way we started, but this time building up a little more strength into our low back by doing some bridge poses. So let's take our arms out to a T. We're going to stretch those shoulder blades apart from each other and put the palms on the floor to begin. From the base of the spine, we'll lift, roll up one vertebrae at a time, pressing yourself right up high in between those shoulders. And then let's lower it back down. So we're going to do this in kind of a rhythm to build up some strength in our muscles. Inhale, lift it up. We can feel that squeeze in the glutes, the hamstrings, and the low back. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lift it up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, lower it down. We'll do two more because we're going for 5. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, lower it down. And last one, inhale, lift it up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, lower it down. Nice job. Turn your palms to the sky. Bring your knees into your chest and let them fall over to that right side. And then just turn your gaze over the left. So a little different twist than we did in the beginning. Our knees are now laying on top of each other. Feels a little bit different through the hips. And maybe a little deeper through that low back. We get our mid back as we stretch our arms apart from each other. We get our cervical spine by looking our gaze over that left side. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your legs through the middle and let them fall over to the left, and then turn your gaze over the right. Whatever has not relaxed, try to relax it. Breathe it out. This is our last physical movement before we move to Shavasana. So let's do what we can to let everything go. Nice job. Take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Good work. Come back to the center and let's lay down. Now, if you have lower back pain, a blanket or a bolster or a pillow will feel really nice propped underneath your knees, just like I'm doing. And then you can stretch your arms out, just relax those shoulder blades and take a moment to rest. Certainly you can lay flat as well. You don't need to have the pillow, but if you want it, use it. I'm going to leave you here for a few moments just to take in all of the good work that you've done. Start to wake yourself up. Rotate through your wrists and your ankles. Point and flex your feet. Stretch your arms overhead to lengthen through your entire body. It's like waking up from a really good dream. And then roll yourself over to one side in fetal pose. Good. Gently press up to a comfortable seated position. And let's bring our hands together at heart center. And just close your eyes. And I'll leave you with this quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Thank you for your practice today. Namaste.